What's good? Mattia Palla here, and I'm going to break down my latest track. So let's start with the drums. As you can see, the drums are pretty standard, nothing much. To start off, I have the kick that plays at the first drop. Nothing but a sample. Then another kick that plays at the second drop. Again, just a sample. Then clap that goes along with the kick in the second drop, and also it's just a sample. Then I have another kick that plays at the build up and in the third drop and also in the midsection. So nothing much again. Then I have the snare that plays through the whole track basically, and then just a closed hat for the rhythm. Then I have the hat that plays through the second drop, just a bit tighter and a bit high-pitched. I wanted to add some variety. Then just an open hat to add some impact. And then for the build-up, I implemented the snare with just this non-linear filter, which is pretty distorted, as you can see, to just support the build-up. Then let's go with the samples. The main sample here is just this chant that comes from a free sample pack I found on Reddit. So nothing interesting about it. Some EQing just to remove the lows and a bit of mids to clean that a bit up. And then for the build up, just another non-linear filter, less distorted than the previous one. Then I have the background chant, which comes from the same sample pack I talked about earlier. Here, just a comp filter on stereo mode. I stole this technique from Nasco, and it's just a way to make your instruments stereo without ruining the mono information, and it's just cracked. Of course, then another EQ to clean some of the mid hikes to leave space to the basses. Then I have the sample that gives character to the entire track, Anabot, which is a robot made for pets. And I remember that I sampled all of its voice lines and I chopped them up and saved them individually, so that's what I use them for. There's a basic delay, nothing much, and then just the same feature for the build-up. Nothing else really. Before the basses, I wanted to talk about the effects. So, regular sweep down that plays in most of the track. Oh, let me mention that this part is not in the released version. This is just an intro that I scrapped. Let me just play it for you. Yeah, I scrapped it because it was too boring. So the track starts from here. Perfect. Then I have the small sweep up. Again, just unprocessed samples. And then, for the fills, I have this scratch sample chopped up throughout the whole track. Nothing much. Then I scrapped this glitch sample that was in the original demo. Then just a tuned step without the lows and with the mids cleaned up a bit. Then this ambience loop from ultrasonic to fill the empty space. Then I have the intro and also the build-ups sweep up. Again, nothing much. Then just a tension builder, which is another sweep up, really. And then this riser, just a sample that I found in a really old sample pack. Then I have another sample that gives character to the track. It's Rambley from Indigo Park. Hi! Alright, so this is a little bit complex in terms of post-processing because it involves a convolver to add this small transient, then a stereo to make it completely mono before making just the mids and highs stereo with the same technique, and then I added some reverb, delay and some gain because it was way too quiet. It's a bit different than every sample because when I picked the samples from a video, they were pretty dirty since they come from a video game and there are all of the background effects in there. So I added some more post-processing to hide the fact that those samples are way too cleaned and you can physically hear the cuts if you remove the multipass. Then this EQ was for the intro that got scrapped with this sample, which is different than this. Alright, then I have my favorite sample here, if we ignore Anabot and Rambley. This is fantastic. This is for sidechain purposes. You will see this a lot in the bass patches and nothing else about it. Then the small fake out noise with a trans gate to make it snappy, to say the least. Then I have this frequency filler, which was initially just noise. Then with a trans gate and some delay, I colored it a bit. Then I did the same thing for the drop 3 noise, but with an LFO tool, a shifter to add some color. I removed the lows, some delay and just more cleanup. Then to finish the samples and the effects up, I got this quirky little siren thingy going on with just some EQing, reverb and delay and just cleaning up the mids again. Perfect. Now let me break down the basses. So to start off, I have the fake out bass, which was the first one that got there in the first place. In fact, the first part that I produced was this one. Yeah. So the fake out bass is simply a faceplant patch modified by me and made by Karma Studio. Um, Before going into the patch, I have this EQ to boost the lows and just the 3 deck bodies that I won't talk about because they are made just for sidechain, so there's nothing to talk about. So the faceplant patch is pretty simple to say the least. I played with the FM here to change the tone of the patch. So this is literally this patch. It's really simple, just an FM patch with some post-processing, nothing crazy again. Then the drop 1 bass, which is a faceplant patch, kind of modified by me just a little, but the original patch was from Camellia, and it's another FM bass. Simple as that. With some chorus, reverb, and just some cleanup. But also, I implemented this small patch that comes from Capsun Pro Audio. It's just a regular bass patch, nothing crazy. The post-processing is basic, not to be explained. And I implemented a multipass just to add some stereo with the same technique as before. But the only thing that is changed is the fact that I added more stereo with the width knob from the stereo plugin. Nothing else really. Then to the whole basses, I added the FabFilter Pro Q3 just to remove the lows that will be implemented with the sub. Then just the 2 attack bodies, you already know it. And the end transition for this part. Let me just break down the sub real quick. The 4 attack bodies and literally just a bass patch from Nasco. Nothing else. So, the drop to Psytrance thingy is really simple. It's another preset from Dash Glitch, and it's just a basic patch. There is nothing to be spoken about. Those are just to sauce the bass up, but they don't make such a difference, to be honest. Then there's a slower version, which is the same patch but modified by me just a little to make it longer, but honestly, I just moved some of the envelopes and nothing else. So I have the intro bass here, which is also used in the build-up and of course in the intro, but the intro is not there. And it's a modified version of the fake out bass. Of course with a multipass to make it completely mono. There's a cutoff automation to add the highs. Then I have the acid, which is my favorite instrument of this. Especially this part right here, I just love it. So the secret behind this is just the fact that I layered 2 octaves. This is why it's so juicy. I just love this patch so much. It's a patch from Dash Glitch, modified by me just a little, and it's cleaned up with Pro Q. There's some automations to mute it here and here for some reason, even though this is pointless. Another EQ which is empty for some reason, and nothing else really. Then I have the reverse bass, which is reversed fake out bass. I literally just recorded the bass patch and nothing else. Then the sub drop from Kashmir, just filtered a bit, nothing else really. Then I have this pretty nice mid section, which is not a bass, but it's still here for some reason. literally just basic shapes and nothing else. This is really simple, but the juice comes from the multipass with some OTT, transgate, reverb, and delay. Nothing else, really. Of course, this small EQ to clean something up, but it's not that necessary, to be honest. Then I have this version of the saw, which is similar, but there is no transgate and those are a bit different. And I have the pad right here, which is a small patch that I made. It was initially this one. Let me just play it for you. But I thought that it was too much, so I just put some square shape with some delay and filter automation, nothing else. Then I have my secret growl, which I won't show you because it's my secret, but I just love it. So I love this growl so much. I spent a couple of hours initially when I made this one. Then I saved the patch, but this is just my signature growl. And yeah, I just love it. Then I have this mid-res, which is just a serum preset modified. And I think this one comes along with serum when you install it. So yeah, that was the whole track. I hope you enjoyed this small breakdown. Let me just know in the comments. With that being said, please stream the track. Bye bye.